My beloved brothers and sisters, sometimes in life, you will find that no matter how genuine you are, no matter how pure your intentions may be, people will misunderstand you. They will judge you without knowing your heart. They will speak about you without knowing your struggle. And they will criticize you without ever walking a single step in your shoes. At such moments, your soul feels heavy, your heart feels broken, and you wonder, why me? But let me remind you, even the most beloved of Allah, the Prophet Muhammad the most trustworthy, was misunderstood, mocked, rejected, and even accused of the worst things. Yet, he remained patient, he remained steadfast, and he turned every insult into an opportunity to rise higher in the eyes of Allah. So today, let us reflect together. When people do not understand you, how should you respond? And what lessons can we take from the beautiful life of the Messenger? My beloved brothers and sisters, one of the heaviest feelings a human being can ever experience is the loneliness that comes from being misunderstood. You try to explain yourself, but your words are twisted. You try to show kindness, but people assume you have hidden motives. You remain silent to protect your dignity, and they call it arrogance. And suddenly, you find yourself standing alone, wondering, why don't they see the truth of who I am? This loneliness, if you don't handle it correctly, can break you. It can make you question your own worth, it can weaken your resolve, and it can even push you to seek validation from people instead of Allah. But let me remind you, the fact that you are misunderstood does not mean you are weak. It means Allah is testing the sincerity of your heart. He wants to see, will you crumble because of what people say, or will you stand tall because you know Allah is watching? Remember, the Prophet Muhammad, the most truthful man ever known, was called a liar. The most trustworthy was accused of betrayal. The most compassionate was labeled a magician, a poet, even a madman. Imagine the pain of being such a pure soul, yet to be misunderstood by the very people you were sent to guide. If that could happen to the greatest of all creation, why should you and I be surprised when it happens to us? Being misunderstood is not a punishment, it is a filter. Allah uses it to separate those who truly know you, from those who only claim to know you. Those who love you for who you are will stay, while those whose love was shallow will leave. And this, in reality, is a blessing. Because Allah is teaching you that you don't need the entire world to validate you. You only need Him. My brothers and sisters, every time you are misunderstood, you have two choices. 1. You can waste your energy trying to prove yourself to people who will never truly see you. Or 2. You can place your trust in Allah, strengthen your connection with Him, and let your character speak louder than their assumptions. The Prophet chose the second path. He didn't go around defending himself in every corner of Makkah. He simply lived with truth, patience, and dignity. And Allah elevated his status until those who mocked him are forgotten, while his name is remembered every day in the Adhan. So when people misunderstand you, don't rush to despair. Don't think that loneliness means weakness. Instead, see it as Allah polishing your sincerity, teaching you patience, and preparing you for greater heights. Because when the world misunderstands you, but Allah understands you, then you are never truly alone. My beloved brothers and sisters, let us pause for a moment and reflect on something profound. The Prophet Muhammad, the best of creation, the most noble of all human beings, was rejected, not by strangers, not by distant enemies, but by his own people. The very people who knew him since childhood, who had called him as Sadiq the truthful and Amin the trustworthy, suddenly turned against him when he brought them the message of truth. Imagine that pain. To be rejected by those you loved, those you served, those you hoped to save. When the Prophet stood on Mount Safa and called his people to worship Allah alone, some mocked him, some dismissed him, and some even hurled abuse. He was not only rejected by the elite of Quraysh, but even his own uncles turned against him. Abu Lahab, a close family member, was the loudest in his insults. How heartbreaking it must have been. And yet, the Prophet did not respond with hatred. He did not return insult for insult. His character shone brighter than their ignorance. This is a lesson for all of us. Many times, those closest to you may reject your ideas, your dreams, or your path. Sometimes your own family may not believe in you. Your friends may doubt you. Your colleagues may mock you. And you feel crushed, because you expect strangers to misunderstand you. But when it comes from those you love, it cuts far deeper. But what did the Prophet show us? He showed us that rejection is not the end. It is the beginning of true resilience. The rejection he faced did not stop him from spreading the truth. It did not stop him from being kind to those who hated him. Even when they placed thorns in his path, even when they threw dirt on him, even when they plotted his death, his heart remained pure. He prayed for them, he forgave them, and he continued to invite them with patience. This is why his light spread across the world. Brothers and sisters, the reality is, rejection will always be a part of your journey. People will laugh at your ambitions, they will question your intentions, and sometimes they will abandon you at the moment you need them most. But remember, it is not their acceptance that defines you, it is your character that defines you. If you respond with anger, you fall to their level. But if you respond with dignity, your light will outshine their ignorance. The Prophet proved that character is more powerful than words. His patience outlasted their insults, his kindness outshone their cruelty, his consistency silenced their doubts, and eventually, many of those who once rejected him became his most devoted followers. So, my beloved brothers and sisters, if today you are facing rejection from those closest to you, take heart. You are walking a path that the Prophet himself walked. Stand firm, remain patient, and let your character speak for you. For in the end, rejection is temporary, but the impact of a good character is eternal. My beloved brothers and sisters, one of the greatest pains we face in this world is being misjudged. People see a small part of your story, and suddenly, they think they know your entire life. They hear one rumor, and they treat it as if it is the truth. They take your silence as arrogance, your kindness as weakness, your efforts as selfishness. And before you know it, the very people you hoped would understand you have already passed judgment on you. But here is the comfort, while people misjudge you, Allah never misjudges you. He is Al-Alim, the all-knowing. He is Al-Kabir, the one fully aware of every detail. He knows the intention behind every word you speak, the sincerity behind every action you take, the purity behind every tear you shed. When people misinterpret you, Allah knows the truth. And if Allah knows your heart, what more do you need? The Prophet Muhammad himself was misjudged countless times. They called him a liar when he was the most truthful. They said he was seeking power, when in reality he was offering them salvation. They said he was a madman, yet his wisdom outshone every scholar and leader of his time. Even when he stood in prayer at night until his feet swelled, some accused him of showing off. Subhanallah. If even the messenger of Allah was misjudged, do not be surprised when people misjudge you. The key is not to let their judgments define you. People's opinions change with the wind. Today they praise you, tomorrow they condemn you. But Allah's knowledge of you never changes. He sees what others cannot see. He knows your struggles, the sleepless nights, the hidden sacrifices, the silent battles you fight that no one else will ever recognize. So, my brothers and sisters, instead of exhausting yourself trying to change how people see you, focus on how Allah sees you. If He is pleased with you, then nothing else matters. Remember the words of the Prophet Whoever seeks the pleasure of Allah even if it angers the people, Allah will be pleased with him, and will make the people pleased with him too. But whoever seeks to please the people at the cost of Allah's displeasure, Allah will be displeased with him, and He will cause the people to be displeased with him as well. This is the formula for peace. Let Allah's opinion outweigh all others. Let His knowledge of your heart be your comfort. When you are wrongfully accused, remind yourself, Allah knows the truth. When you are misjudged, say, Allah is my witness. When you feel unseen, whisper to yourself, Allah sees me. And trust me, my beloved brothers and sisters, when you live with that awareness, your heart becomes unshakable. You stop begging for validation from people, and you start walking with the dignity that comes from knowing your worth in the sight of Allah. And that is more than enough. My beloved brothers and sisters, life will never be without insult, without criticism, without misunderstanding. As long as you live among people, you will be tested by people. Sometimes they will misunderstand you innocently because they do not know the full story, but other times, they will deliberately misinterpret your words and actions, in order to bring you down. They will laugh at you, they will spread falsehood about you, they will belittle your efforts, and they will make you feel as though you are worth nothing. But here is where the beauty of faith comes in. Every insult is not the end of you. It is the beginning of an opportunity. Every misunderstanding is not a curse, but a test to rise above with dignity. Because remember, people's insults do not define you, your response defines you. Look at the example of the Prophet Muhammad When the Quraysh mocked him, when they called him names, when they accused him of fabricating the Quran, did he ever lower himself to their level? Never. His response was not anger and retaliation, but patience, calmness, and trust in Allah. When they threw the intestines of a camel on his blessed back while he was in sujood, he did not rise with vengeance. He rose with dignity, wiping himself clean and continuing his prayer. That is true greatness. Brothers and sisters, the way you respond to insult speaks louder than the insult itself. When you scream back at someone who calls you names, you have given them control over your emotions. But when you remain calm, when you smile in the face of cruelty, when you show restraint, you have proven your worth. You are no longer equal to those who insult you, you are higher. This is why Allah tells us in the Quran, the servants of the Most Merciful are those who walk upon the earth humbly, and when the ignorant address them, they respond with words of peace. Ashura al-Furqan 25:63. Subhanallah, Allah Himself describes dignity not in how loud your voice is, not in how strongly you can retaliate, but in how gracefully you can ignore the ignorant. When you face misunderstanding, patience becomes your shield. Patience is not weakness. It is strength. It takes strength to remain silent when every part of you wants to defend yourself. It takes strength to smile when people want to see you break. It takes strength to keep moving forward when others want to see you fall. And this patience is not wasted. Every moment you choose patience over anger, Allah raises your status. Every tear you hold back, Allah writes for you a reward. Every insult you bear with dignity, Allah grants you closeness to Him. Let me share with you something powerful. Insult is temporary, but dignity is eternal. Today, the words of the enemies of the Prophet are forgotten, but the dignity with which he responded is remembered until the end of time. Their insults vanished, but his patience remains a guiding light. Similarly, the insults you face today will not last forever. People will forget their words, but the way you carried yourself, the way you responded, will remain in their hearts, and more importantly, will remain recorded with Allah. So my beloved brothers and sisters, the next time someone insults you, do not ask, why me? Ask instead, what does Allah want me to learn from this? Maybe He wants to polish your patience. Maybe He wants to raise your rank. Maybe He wants to detach your heart from the need of people and attach it to Him alone. Remember, every insult, every misunderstanding, every misjudgment is an opportunity disguised as a challenge. Rise above, respond with dignity, and let patience be your crown. Because true success is not in silencing every critic, but in proving your worth through noble character. And that, in the sight of Allah, is greater than any praise the world could ever give you. My beloved brothers and sisters, we live in a world today where everyone seeks acceptance. We crave likes, shares, followers and validation. We fear being the odd one out. We fear rejection so much that we sometimes compromise our principles, our values, even our faith, just so that people will like us. But let me remind you of a very powerful reality. True greatness has never been about pleasing everyone. It has always been about standing firm upon the truth, even if it means standing alone. Look at the lives of the greatest men and women who ever walked this earth. None of them were universally accepted. The prophets themselves, the most beloved to Allah, were rejected, opposed, and mocked. Nus Noasios preached for 950 years, yet only a handful followed him. Abraham, NCVE, was thrown into a fire for refusing to bow to idols. Musa, Moses Yuntiwajifi, was accused of being a magician when he showed the truth, and Muhammad, the seal of the prophets, was chased out of his own city, boycotted, insulted, and yet he remained steadfast upon the truth. If greatness was measured by how many people accepted you, then even the prophets would have been considered failures. But their greatness was in their unwavering stand for truth, regardless of who stood with them. Brothers and sisters, understand this: when you live for people's approval, you become their prisoner. One day they lift you up, the next day they crush you. Their opinions are inconsistent, their judgments are biased, and their praise is temporary. But when you live for Allah's approval, you are free. You stand tall. Because you know that even if the whole world rejects you, the one who created you accepts you. And what more do you need than that? The Prophet, taught us this through his life. When he began spreading the message of Islam, he was alone. The Quraysh rejected him. Many of his family members turned against him. He had very few companions in the beginning, but he never wavered, never softened the truth, never diluted the message to please the masses. He stood firm, even when it meant being boycotted, even when it meant hunger, even when it meant danger. And today, 1400 years later, more than 1 billion people bear witness that he was indeed the messenger of Allah. This teaches us something profound. Sometimes you have to lose people to gain Allah. Sometimes you have to stand in a crowd and feel alone, because your principles do not allow you to join in their wrong. Sometimes you have to bear criticism, mockery, even hatred, because you chose the path of truth. But in those moments, remember, you are not truly alone. Allah is with you. And if Allah is with you, then no amount of rejection can harm you. My beloved brothers and sisters, ask yourself, what kind of greatness do you want? The greatness of being popular today and forgotten tomorrow? Or the greatness of being remembered by Allah, honored by the angels, and rewarded eternally in the hereafter? Popularity is cheap. It changes overnight. Today they cheer for you, tomorrow they boo you. But standing firm upon the truth earns you the respect of history, the love of Allah, and the peace of your own soul. Think about the young boy or girl who refuses to compromise their faith in school or college, even when others mock them. Think about the employee who refuses to take bribes, even if it costs him promotion. Think about the woman who wears her hijab proudly, even when society pressures her to remove it. Think about the man who lowers his gaze, even when everyone else mocks his modesty. These are not weak people. They are truly great, because they stand upon the truth even if they stand alone. Greatness is not measured by how many follow you, but by how firmly you follow Allah. Remember the hadith the Prophet once told us that on the Day of Judgment, some prophets will come with large nations, some with only a few followers, and some with none at all. Does that mean those prophets failed? No, it means their success was never about numbers, but about their steadfastness upon truth. Success in the sight of Allah is not about popularity, but about sincerity and perseverance. Now let's reflect on ourselves. How many times have we given up what is right just to fit in? How many times have we stayed silent in the face of wrong, just so people wouldn't dislike us? How many times have we bent our principles to avoid rejection? Every time we do that, we lose a part of our dignity. But every time we choose the truth, no matter how lonely it feels, Allah raises us. Brothers and sisters, there will be times in your life when you feel like you are walking against the current, when the whole world seems to be heading in one direction, and you are the only one going the other way. In those moments, remember that greatness is not in following the crowd, but in following the truth. It is better to be alone with Allah than to be accepted by 1,000 people who are upon falsehood. When you stand for truth, Allah places strength in your heart, peace in your mind, and light on your face. Even if people oppose you, they will secretly respect you for your firmness. And even if they don't, it doesn't matter, because Allah's acceptance outweighs all. So, my beloved brothers and sisters, seek greatness not in people's acceptance, but in Allah's pleasure. Stand firm upon the truth, even if you stand alone, because the one who stands with Allah is never truly alone. The world may forget you, but Allah will never forget you. And when you return to Him, He will reward you in ways far greater than the fleeting approval of this world. My beloved brothers and sisters, if there is one reality of life that we cannot escape, it is that people will never fully understand us. They will misunderstand our intentions, misinterpret our actions, and misjudge our character. Sometimes, even those closest to us, family, friends, colleagues, will see us in a way that is unfair, unjust, and painful. And when that happens, we feel broken. We feel heavy in our hearts. We feel like giving up. But here is the beauty: every pain you endure for the sake of Allah is not wasted. Every time you are misunderstood, Allah uses that pain to draw you closer to Him. The life of the Prophet Muhammad is the ultimate proof of this. Think about it. The Prophet was the most truthful, the most sincere, the most trustworthy. Yet he was called a liar. He was the most compassionate, the most merciful. Yet he was called cruel. He was the most balanced and wise, yet they called him mad. Imagine the pain of being such a pure soul, but constantly misunderstood by people. And yet, every moment of that pain brought him closer to Allah. Every insult pushed him further into sujood. Every rejection made his dua deeper. Every tear he shed in the night prayer brought him nearer to the divine. This is the lesson for us. The pain of being misunderstood is not the end of you. It is the beginning of your intimacy with Allah. Brothers and sisters, sometimes Allah allows you to be misunderstood by people, so that you stop relying on people. He removes their comfort from you so that you find comfort in Him. He closes their doors so that you turn to His door. He makes you feel abandoned by creation so that you taste the sweetness of being held by the Creator. Think about it. When everyone praises you, when everyone accepts you, when everyone claps for you, how often do you cry out to Allah in desperation? But when you are insulted, when you are rejected, when you are alone and broken, that is when your forehead meets the ground and you say, "Why Allah? Only you know me. Only you see me. Only you understand me." That pain becomes a ladder that lifts you to a higher connection with Him. Look at the Prophet in Taif. When he went to invite the people, they rejected him, insulted him, and even sent children to throw stones at him until he bled. Can you imagine that humiliation? Yet what did he do? He turned to Allah with one of the most heartfelt du'as in history. "O Allah, to you alone I complain of my weakness, my lack of support, and my humiliation before the people. You are the most merciful of those who show mercy." At his lowest moment, when he was most misunderstood, he spoke to Allah with words that touched the heavens. And what did Allah do? He sent the angel of the mountains, offering to crush his enemies. Yet the Prophet chose mercy, saying, "No, perhaps their children will believe in Allah." Subhanallah. His pain led him to deeper mercy, deeper patience, and deeper closeness with Allah. Brothers and sisters, when you are misunderstood, do not waste your pain. Don't let it turn into bitterness, anger, or hatred. Let it turn into dua. Let it turn into patience. Let it turn into extra prayers in the night. Let it turn into acts of kindness that prove your worth, not to people, but to Allah. Because every time you rise above misunderstanding, you rise closer. Pain is a purifier. It strips away your ego. It humbles you. It reminds you of your weakness. And in that humility, you find strength in Allah. You realize that you don't need everyone to understand you. You only need Him to understand you. And He already does. When you live with this awareness, something beautiful happens. The insults of people stop hurting you as much, because you see them as opportunities. Every misunderstanding becomes a reason to run back to Allah. Every rejection becomes a sign that Allah wants you to depend on Him more. Every tear becomes a seed for a garden in Jannah. My beloved brothers and sisters, let us not forget that the Prophet promised us, whoever humbles himself for the sake of Allah, Allah will elevate him. So when you are humbled through misunderstanding, through rejection, through insult, do not despair. Know that Allah is elevating you. You may not see it immediately, but with every wound, every scar, every sleepless night, Allah is writing for you a story of honor, both in this world and in the next. One day, those who misunderstood you will see the truth. One day, those who mocked you will regret their words. But by then, you will already have risen so high with Allah, that their opinions will not even matter. Just as the enemies of the Prophet were eventually forgotten, while his name is remembered in every corner of the world, your patience will outlast their mockery, and your dignity will outshine their ignorance. So, my beloved brothers and sisters, let the example of Rasulullah be your comfort. When you are misunderstood, know that you are walking the same path he walked. When you are rejected, know that you are tasting a small part of what he endured. And when you are insulted, know that this pain can be transformed into closeness with Allah. If only you respond with patience, with dignity, and with trust in Him. Because in the end, what matters is not how people see you, but how Allah sees you. And if He sees you turning to Him in your pain, then you have succeeded. That pain has become your bridge to Him. That loneliness has become your secret conversation with Him. That misunderstanding has become the path to your ultimate greatness.